Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Music Monday. Instead of my usual Music Monday vlog, I have the unique pleasure of speaking with Elizabeth Bonker. Elizabeth is the founder of Communications for All. Elizabeth has been an advocate for non-speakers with autism for more than a decade. Her book and album, I Am in Here, seek to change the way the world sees non-speaking autism. Elizabeth has been a speaker at many conferences, including Ahora, Change Makers, and Autism Society's Town Hall. Elizabeth graduated as valedictorian of Rollins College in 2022. Her commencement speech went viral with more than 4 billion impressions worldwide. Welcome, Elizabeth. Question 1 was, how are you able to communicate despite non-speaking autism?
I type on a wireless keyboard and iPad to communicate. I am one of the lucky few who was taught to type when I was 6 years old and mainstreamed in public school. An estimated 40% of people with autism, 31 million people worldwide, cannot reliably speak. We call ourselves non-speakers, but please understand many of us can repeat words or phrases. We are not able to use speech as a primary form of communication.
Question 2 was, how did your mother help advocate during your education?
I am grateful for my mother's advocacy for my education in an ABA program and then in public school. She worked intensively with my aide and teacher to figure out how to make it work for me. She also knew my rights.
Wake up, page down, go to sleep. Question 3 was, talk about ABA therapy.
ABA helped me to organize myself when I was very young. But by the time I was 5 years old, I was frustrated by how I had no way to express myself. Non-speakers need to be taught to type, and ABA fails us by denying us this human right.
4, what was your experience like in public schools?
It breaks my heart that typers, that is what we call people with impaired speech who type to communicate, that typers are routinely denied access to communication in public school. I had a great experience of acceptance in those elementary school years, and this is not the case for most typers.
Go to sleep. Question 5, how were you able to navigate your education? Personal assistance, advocacy, etc.
I had the same educational aide and communication partner for 14 years. Terry became part of our family and worked with my mother to advocate for the accommodations I needed, which were more time on tests because I type with one finger.
How did your faith help you accept your disability?
You can read in my poems from an early age that I knew God was walking with me on this journey. 70 of my poems were published in I Am in Here, and you can read some of them for free on our website. Now, I prefer to write lyrics in my song, Things I Know is a gospel hymn based on a poem I wrote when I was 12 years old.
How did you transition to college?
I took a gap year between high school and college to focus on self-regulation. Many people with autism are stuck in fight or flight mode, and we worked with a scientist to get me out of that dysregulated state. We hope to publish how we helped my regulation in the future so all can benefit.
What did you major in college? Why?
I majored in social innovation and minored in English at Rollins College. Social innovation is an interdisciplinary program that included courses in economic, statistics, sociology, education, and the law. I took English courses to learn to be a better writer.
How did you find out you were voted the Victorian of your class?
Rollins College sent an email to 5 of us who had 4.0 grade point averages. I was honored that my fellow valedictorians voted unanimously for me to give the commencement address.
What did you hope your classmates got from your speech?
My speech was rooted in our school motto, Fiat Lux. Be the light. Mr. Rogers graduated from Rollins and exemplifies life is for service. My life will be dedicated to serving non-speakers with autism and giving them access to communication. Everyone can serve others in big ways and small on a daily basis. I am grateful that my message resonated with 4 billion media impressions because it gave an enormous boost to communication for all.
When did you first feel God's calling towards advocacy and helping others with disabilities?
In our book, my mother calls me an old soul, so I guess you can say I have always felt God's call. I am one of the lucky few non-speakers who has been taught to type. My calling is to change that and give a voice to the voiceless.
Why did you create Communication for All?
Communication for All is a non-profit organization created to fulfill my mission to gain communication for all non-speakers. I believe all non-speakers with autism can learn to type. It is a process that takes time because we need to teach our disobedient bodies to point to the right letters.
How can people find out about your nonprofit?
Communication for All has a website with resources for families and educators at communication4all.org. We will be continually posting new offerings, and there will be some big announcements in the coming months. So, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We are working with public and private schools on pilot typing programs. We also are working on public policy to make it easier for non-speakers to exercise their rights to effective communication as mandated in the Americans with Disabilities Act.
What made it you broaden your horizons and go into music? Am I correct in assuming the music is your poetry put to music?
Music has always been important to rights movements. Think about how the song, We Shall Overcome, united the civil rights movement. I started to write song lyrics as an outgrowth of my love of poetry and music. Some of my songs are based on poems, but they needed to be rewritten with music in mind.
Did you have an idea of what kind of music you wanted your lyrics to be sung to? How was that determined?
I decided to make an album because I thought we could reach more people for the mission with the power of music. I wrote the lyrics and the band, the Bleeding Hearts, set them to music. Throughout the pandemic, we had Sunday night Zoom meetings to discuss different musical approaches. The 10 songs on the album cover a wide range of genres from rock to gospel to Celtic to blues. The band members are dear friends and immensely talented. The album also features Tom Morello of Rage Against the Machine, Adrian Ananton, and the Flutie Foundation's Spectrum of Sound Choir.
Wake up, page down, go to sleep. What do you want people to know about autism?
Autism is a spectrum disorder. Some people are affected more so and some less so. People who cannot reliably speak have a neuromotor disorder, not a cognitive one. I believe all non-speakers with autism can learn to type and be educated. To do otherwise is to deny them a basic human right. It also denies their families, communities, and the world their beautiful contributions.
Where do you see yourself in the future, both personally and professionally?
My life mission is communication for all. I will not rest until every non-speaker has a voice. I am thankful for my mentor Judy Heumann for showing what a life of service looks like. So, you will continue to find me educating lawmakers, working with inclusive schools and generally making good trouble until my people are set free from their silent cage.
Again, it was wonderful speaking to Elizabeth Bonker from Communication for All. This had been a very encouraging talk between you and I hope it reaches many people. You can find out more about her organization at communications for the letter 4 all.org, and you can follow her on Instagram. I will be putting that in the notes in my YouTube and on my website as well. Again, thank you for this amazing opportunity, and I'm sure it's going to reach many, many people. As always, I look forward to speaking with you guys next time. And for now, remember what I always say. I love you, but I love you more. See you next time on Wisdom Wednesday. Bye.